Hi, this is Pammy Joe, the Lord's servant. I was called out at age 22 to hear God's voice, His word, and speak it to some people. And I did not want to do it. I was afraid it wasn't really God, afraid of what I'd say, and that if I promised something for God, it wouldn't come true. Guess what? It happened. It happened. I remember people who were promised that they were going to be delivered from slavery in Egypt, and they were there originally as kings who brought blessings to Egypt. They were offspring of Joseph, a descendant of Jacob. But they became slaves when a new ruler came along, and so they were not treated with respect, and they had tough duties. So this guy comes along that God sends, who was reluctant to be sent. He didn't think he was qualified. His name was Moses. He got sent to deliver them, and it was not under easy circumstances. But they were promised all these things, and then they went out in the wilderness. There was no water, there was wandering around, and they complained, and they wanted to go back to where they were. At least they were fed there. Well, human nature is such that if things don't happen right now, we give up and look for a reason to not hope. It's just built into us. And our brain is programmed to keep us as safe as possible, and that can include being enslaved. So one of the things I was enslaved to was rushing around, and Mike and I bragged about how our favorite food groups were preservatives and something that was exceedingly fattening. We had this real flippant attitude until some health issues started developing, and I had an accident. I fell off a ladder onto a concrete floor and boogered up the veins in my left leg entirely, clear to my crotch, clear down to my ankle. My veins were completely plugged, and I got scanned, and they put me in the hospital. I couldn't even get out of bed because I was a walking death. And over time on crutches, and I have nothing against crutches or people in wheelchairs. I've been there. I was in a wheelchair for a while there in the hospital too. And a cane, I learned to cobble around on this dead leg, because when edema is in a body part, you can't feel it. It feels like dragging a log around. There's little feeling. It's creepy, crawly, uncomfortable, and painful to have a balloon for a leg. So I ended up pretty immobile, and I gained from about 140 at the time, I'm 5'1.5", to 178. And that may translate to someone a few inches taller than me, from 200 to 280. Mike was around the low 200s when we met, maybe a little more. And he ended up gaining to over 300 pounds at one point. Yet we bragged about how we could eat anything. Well, after the million health issues that started coming up, and he got pre-diabetes, and I was taking medications, water pills, blood thinners, getting checked if I had a clotting disorder. I'm fidgeting with my fist right now thinking about it, because it was very stressful, and I felt like an invalid. I felt like my life was over, and I might as well just fall off a cliff. And it didn't matter if I got counseling or if I had taken antidepressants. It wouldn't have changed my physical condition. I had to take support hose that are really hard to drag onto your leg or your extremities because of the clotting, to keep from getting embolism in my lungs or a stroke. That went on from 2004 until 2017. The prime parts of my life, I was very limited. And I felt sorry for myself. Oh my God, did I feel sorry for myself? And I kind of hated everyone, including myself. But in 2016 or so, a bunch of people we knew, my husband's new wife, my own children, they started developing these weird symptoms and swelling up and not feeling good. And food made them sick. That's when the gluten thing came out. And some of them went off of glutinous materials and got a bit better, even lost a little weight. I did too. Interestingly enough, I didn't take Mike off of regular bread because he didn't like gluten-free bread. So he lost a little. But mainly he developed a heart condition and a-fib, and then they found cancer in him in upcoming years. So in 2018, I heard about Code Red. 2017, I saw them in a parade in Orfino because the leader originally graduated school here in my hometown, and my daughter knew of her in high school. I saw her, and I got involved with Unstoppable Influence, and the two of them went together and did a thing called Unstoppable Revolution, because Code Red Revolution is Christy's first book. And this will be backwards because I don't know how to use my phone, but Code Red Revolution, Christy Code Red. And I also took Unstoppable Influence, Natasha Hazlett. I can put links in the comments. So I got brave and I went to one of their events and I got to meet both of them. And so I got very involved in their challenges at the time. And I started my first 10-pound takedown challenge, which is a 30-day, lose 10 pounds in 30 days and learn. The big thing was I learned what we were doing that was contributing to our poor health and our weight gain. I learned how to offset that. And I took that first challenge. Mike agreed to go along with me. He wasn't in the group and all that, but he said he was ready. He had been begging me for years. I need to take off some weight. So we tried this. And wham, he lost 13 pounds in that first 30 days. Wham. And I lost, from the time I started it until the end, 5 plus 7. Okay, I did pretty good too for my size. So we decided we were sold and we kept buying the product. Back then it cost $47. Now it's only $27. We kept it up and we kept it up and we kept it up. Not every challenge. Yeah, I did take every challenge for a while until I learned it. And then occasionally after that as reminders so I could watch the 30 days of training that helped me explain what the heck was going on, what was wrong in the grocery stores, what's wrong with the TV commercials, and take my life back. So 178 with a swollen left leg, barely able to walk, sick, on blood pressure med, blood thinning meds, GERD medication because I couldn't lay down at night without wanting to upchuck and burn my esophagus. I went from all of that. Mike went from a-fib, high blood pressure, cancer in his abdomen, and I'm leaving one out. He went from that to healed. Since then, in 6 years, we undid 60 or 70 years of damage. And it started for me 3 weeks into the challenge because I went off blood pressure meds right away. Didn't need them because I was eating different. I was eating different. hadn't even lost that much weight, but I was eating differently. So I had a choice of 113 this morning And that took a few years because I didn't even get custom programs from 178. By the time I met Christy, I was more like 165. And my doctor said if you just take 15 pounds off, you'd extend your life. So that would have been 150. I didn't keep going because I cared about my weight. I kept going because of how I felt about myself, how my body felt, how aware I was of my organ needs. And then also now my mind. My mind is healing. So there's a 10-pound takedown in September. I'm giving you a lot of notice to think about it. I'm going to put a link here. I'm going to do posts. I want more people to heal. If you don't want to participate, at least take it and listen to the videos. Just watch and listen. What you're missing in this world. God put Adam and Eve here to care for the earth and care for themselves. And that got bungled up. It doesn't have to stay that way. We're entitled. We're deserving of caring for ourselves. This challenge helps you mentally heal too. It does. It does. God bless you.